Well, hello. I'm going to read a poem that I'm particularly enjoying at the moment by the English poet Jo Shapcott. And it's from her 2010 collection of Mutability and is entitled, rather wonderfully, Uncertainty is Not a Good Dog. Uncertainty is not a good dog. She eats bracken and sheep shit, drops her litters in foxholes and rolls in all the variables, wriggling on her back until she reeks of them, until their scents are her scents. She takes sudden, windy routes, through hummocks, cairns, and ditches, so you can't spot where she is and acknowledge her velocity at the same time. She's fidgety, but still careful to snuffle through all the mud on the trail. She can't see in the dark, but bumps her snout on the overhang lapping the path. Daylight's no better. She has to screw her eyes tight against the glare, and panting just risk it, following her nose across the landscape, her tongue brighter than probability, brighter than heather, whinbury, and scree. Uncertainty is not a good dog, but she's the dog we live with now. This week's kerfuffle with the leaked draft of an email and lectures going online just underlies this. There is so much right now we cannot know. We plan for the worst, we hope for the best. Reality will probably be somewhere in between. And there are questions we cannot answer beyond we know it's important, and we'll keep working at it, and we want things to be normal, but some of that is out of our control. And we all cling, all of us, tightly to what we can control, because the weight of what we cannot can seem overwhelming. Because uncertainty is not a good dog, but she is the dog we have right now. And actually, she's always been part of our human household, because while this may be a novel virus, uncertainty is not novel. It's ancient and historical. It is primordial to who we are. It's just that for many of us, there is enough illusion of control, enough of the time to imaginatively keep that old dog at bay. But suddenly, in a pandemic, illusions of control are hard to come by. Yet in the last few generations, perhaps at least one variable has changed. And that is our technological capacity and our knowledge. We live, we work, we study in a university, an institution devoted to the expansion of knowledge, the expansion of our capabilities, and the taming of that old dog uncertainty. And institutions like ours, they have succeeded. There is so much more that we know, so much more that we can do. Some of the frontiers of uncertainty have been pushed back, just not always as far as we would like to think. And maybe our expansions can even create new uncertainties of their own, and our capabilities, new dilemmas. The rise of novel zoonotic diseases, like our current pandemic, and the newfound speed of their spread is heavily tied to our encroachments upon the natural world, the intensities of modern animal husbandry, at least in the case of influenza, and global mass transport. And yet the weapons that we have to fight these new threats, vaccines, medical technologies, modern epidemiology, advanced bureaucratic government, are also the product of human wit and skill, part of that expansion of our capabilities, of our knowledge. Uncertainty is not a good dog, but she is tenacious. She keeps popping up, often at the points where we think we brought her to heel, where we are working hard to craft new certainties. She's an old companion we thought maybe we'd lost, but there she is again. And it is perhaps the paradox of our rapidly expanding capacities being the place where she so often dogs us that is sometimes so very disconcerting. She's not a very good dog, but she is ours. So how do we live with the mutt? By recognizing she doesn't go away. She'll always slink back into the house, and she'll never be house trained. But perhaps we can make an uneasy peace with her, and with our own finitude and vulnerability. It's a glorious thing, the expansion of our capabilities, the growth of our knowledge. Right now, these things are saving lives by the thousands, globally by the millions. And if it wasn't for that old dog uncertainty nipping at our heels, the need and desire to find that new knowledge and those new capacities wouldn't be there. That old dog drives us, if sometimes to distraction. And if we were to get rid of her, never a possible task, we'd get rid of something of ourselves. She is part of our paradox, part of the wonder and the pain of being a human creature. The wonder the writer of Psalm 8 addressed in praying to God in the following lines. When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you have established, what are human beings that you are mindful of them, mortals that you care for them? Yet you have made them a little lower than God and crowned them with glory and honor. You have given them dominion over the works of your hands and have put all things under their feet. All things, it must be said, except that old dog uncertainty. But God remains mindful of us and cares for us, and that, at least to my mind, is certain. God bless, and have a good week.